Hey everybody, welcome back to Adam's Athenaeum. Let's take a look together through the news and records of our times as we try to shed light upon the unvarnished truth. Today, we're going to be talking about flags and maps. And no, not in a geographical sense. Today, let's start off with an article from The Sun. Nation divided. What does the Black American flag mean? They write, and this is, by the way, from October 3rd, 2021. So it's been a while. They write, the Black American flag first appeared as a symbol of defense during the Civil War. Nowadays, the flag symbolizes other things that some Americans take pride in. The Black American flag was initially introduced as a symbol of defense during the 18th century. However, the present day of its interpretation of its symbolism has strayed from its original meaning, as Blue Lives Matter supporters have put their own twist on it to discredit the Black Lives Matter movement. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit to where did it originate. They say the Black American flag first appeared during the American Civil War of 1861 to 1865. Confederate Army soldiers flew the black flag to symbolize the opposite of the white flag of surrender. The black flag generally meant that the unit would not give in nor surrender, and that enemy combatants would be killed. Or, in other words, no quarter will be given. Now, I don't think that's horrible. I mean, you're stating very clearly your intentions that you are willing to die for what you believe in or defend what you're trying to defend. Granted, this term comes from wartime, and it's propping up. There's some news, cited in this article, but in other news articles, there's people flying Black American flags, and it's becoming more and more prominent. Some people are flying the American flag upside down as a signal of distress, that the country's in distress. And I can't just wholeheartedly disagree with these folks either. I mean, first off, it's their First Amendment right. If you think the country's in distress and there's a position that you can put your flag in to represent that, if you believe that, then why not do that? The same as if you believe that rough times are ahead, we'll say, and you would like to make your political side known or your heartfelt beliefs known, then yeah, maybe you're going to fly a black flag, or you're going to fly a Betsy Ross flag, or the Don't Tread on Me flag, or the Gadsden flag. Yet the left wants to make a big deal out of this. They want to say it's racist white Americans flying the black flag because they hate America and they're ready for war. No, it's because the people on the right tend to play within the rules, and we know that the country's in distress. And from every sign that's, shown up in the last couple of years, it's pretty obvious that bad things are coming our way. Let's go ahead and bring up some other flags, although this is going to be totally unrelated. These flags are in reference to minor attracted people, the minor attracted person movement, MAPs. Now, I've talked about this in other segments, but let's go ahead and bring up some of their flags that they use to represent their movement. There we go. Some people are child lovers. Get over it. Wow. And then it says at the bottom, gay and straight. What's it say? Gay and straight t-shirts against hate, fckhate.com. All right, let's pull up another picture here. We've got, this is the official, what do they like to call it? Whoop, sorry. Let's pull that back up. All right. This is the official MAP flag, or as they reference on here, the no maps. And it basically says the no map community doesn't have a pride flag. So in honor of Pride Month, they designed a no map pride flag. The top two stripes of blue represent the no map's attraction to young boys. The bottom two stripes are pink to represent the no map's attraction to young girls. The middle two stripes are to represent the no map's attraction. The middle stripes of yellow are to represent childhood. Oh, man. Sorry. I didn't prepare enough. I didn't get this zoomed in enough. The white stripes are yellow to represent childhood and general attraction to minors, regardless of their gender. And the middle line is to represent their unwillingness to take away innocence or something like that. You literally made a flag admitting felonies. Admitting that you, maybe not quite admitting to a felony, but admitting that you are on the border of committing felonies because you are attracted to little kids. And then there's people like this. I saved this one for last to prove a point because we have people like this. Now, I doubt this person's still on Twitter. This is probably from a long time ago, but they say, F it. I have nothing to lose. Map pride. Map rights, map pride, map acceptance, trans, come at me. What does it say? Come at me, anti-FML. These people are disgusting. Now, granted, the first picture I showed you, they said, that gay and straight should all support the movement. But I've also seen it, if you just do a Google search, the LGBTQ community is heavily trying to ostracize these folks, as they should be. The LGBTQ movement wants nothing to do with these pedophiles, these people who are attracted to minors and want it to be a sexuality and something that should be defended. That is grotesque. You are sick and you should be in a mental hospital or worse. All right, let's go ahead and get rid of this clown's face. And let's go to another page here where I just wanted to talk about something popped up. It was from, the Western Journal. The title was Twitter notices something strange in Fauci's home, bizarre hidden in plain sight. So in this picture here, it says, find someone who loves you as much as Dr. Anthony Fauci loves Dr. Anthony Fauci. It's hard to see in this picture. There's a couple of devotion candles. If you're Catholic Christian, you may know what these are. Essentially, you light them as a prayer candle. Well, people zoomed in, and of course, the internet is the internet, and people found out what was going on in the background. And let's pull up the next screen. Sorry, guys, working with the new live stream software, trying to work out the fine kinks here. I promise I'll get smoother. But I hope this one's better than the last episode. But anyway, this is essentially what you can find. I found this one on Amazon. There's Etsy. You can basically find, they call it Fauci Celebrity Prayer Candle, Dr. Fauci Funny Saint Candle, 100% made in USA, funny celebrity novelty gift. So, it's cheesy. I'm sure that, a fan of Fauci probably sent it to him and he just put it up there on the shelf to be like, if this person sees me, hopefully they'll see that I put up their candle. And, that's all fine and dandy. But it's just silly, because Fauci thought he was the savior. He said, if you don't believe in me, then you don't believe in the science. It's just, he's a fool. He led us all into this disaster, partially helped by Trump, partially continued by Biden. He's a fool, and we were idiots to listen to him. Yes, all of us, we were dumb. That's all I've got for today. Just wanted to bring to your attention some flags that I've been catching around in the news that I thought everyone should know about. Fauci being the savior, just the egotistical manner of our politicians and bureaucrats. Speaking of Fauci, I don't know if you've heard, but he's talking about stepping down from his position at the NIAID or retiring in general, which is probably a good idea because either way, if there becomes a Republican-held Congress, there's several senators and congressmen and women who have already said you will be held accountable for all the damage you did to our country due to COVID. As I wholeheartedly agree, Fauci should be held ultimately responsible because it was his company who did gain of research function tests in the lab in Wuhan, China. And then it was China who covered up the story of the lab leak and tried to excuse it on the Wuhan wet market when bats weren't even they weren't even in season at that time. Like there were so many things wrong with the story they put out. And now we're finally allowed to talk about some of it, right? Now YouTube won't ban you for simply just saying the word COVID in the wrong way. Now we can talk about it a little bit. Yet people lost their livelihood, their channels, their way to talk to people and let them know what's going on. I just wanted to bring this episode that way more people have a small grasp of what's going on around them, all of the little things in play that happen in the news every day that lead to a bigger picture, that are part of a bigger picture that affect you in your daily life, things you need to pay attention to when you're voting. I mean, do you want a representative who on their Twitter has this pedophile flag, right? This map acceptance flag. If you see that, well, there was a joke, says if you see this flag, you should call the cops. I mean, you shouldn't call the cops because they're overworked, and you should actually wait till there's criminal activity. That way you're not making a false police report. However, I think you get my point. These people are sick. And you should pay attention to people like Fauci and how highly he thinks of himself, right? He thinks he's the top of the world. He's got prayer candles to himself, you could say. It's a silly world we're living in. Things may be coming around. We may be starting to fix things. That's good. But we have to vote. We have to go out and make our voting voices and our voting power heard in the midterm election and in the upcoming 2024 elections. We must peacefully get out and have our messages heard. And we must expose this kind of radical ideology and its nonsense. The damage it's doing to kids, the damage it's doing to men, the damage it's doing to our society and our country. And as always, thank you for coming back. That's where I'm going to leave today's episode. If you, as I, think that this message is worth sharing, please like this video to help us beat the algorithm and get this message out there so it can be heard. Please subscribe so you don't miss any of my weekly to sometimes 2 or 3 times a week uploads. And if you got anything to say or disagree with me in the comments, let's have a nice civil discussion. I look forward to it. I will see you all the next time I post. And again, thanks for coming.